In today's video, we are going to be discussing the best practices for doing a change impact assessment. First, what exactly is a change impact assessment? A change impact assessment is a process for identifying and analyzing how a proposed change will affect people, processes, systems, and policies. The change impact assessment on my screen outlines examples of impacted divisions and also departments. It also outlines the level of impacts as well as what is changing. For what is changing, an effective change impact assessment includes the current state versus the future state, which is also known in change management as the as is versus the to be state. Something you should note is that a change impact assessment provides you with the structure for uncovering potential disruptions, dependencies, and resistance points. This allows you and the change management team, as well as your leadership, to plan targeted strategies that support effective change adoption. I have been doing organizational change management for almost 20 years. And something that I have noticed is that it doesn't matter whether it is a small, mid, or large scale project, whether it is a new technology, a new workflow process, or a new business structure that is being introduced, there will always be impacts. For example, some employees may need new training. Some processes may need to be retired or re engineered, and some stakeholders may resist if they feel unprepared for the change. These are all impacts. The change impact assessment helps you and your leaders anticipate challenges and also address resistance before these challenges and resistance derail your initiative. The end result is something similar to this table that we are looking at here on my screen, which shows how each sample impacted department is being impacted overall by a particular project. This is the overall change impact from the different changes that are impacting each department. For example, you will notice that human resources is experiencing a very high level of change saturation, meaning that there are a lot of changes happening that are impacting human resources. Finance and accounting is currently experiencing high to very high level of change saturation, because from the project or different projects that are impacting finance and accounting, there is a lot of changes. But the changes are ranging from high to very high. Facilities is another example that is experiencing a low level of impact, meaning that there are not a lot of changes happening that are impacting facilities. Legal and compliance, in our example, is experiencing a mid to high level of change saturation, meaning that the number of things that are changing for legal and compliance range in total from a mid to a high level change saturation. Sales is experiencing a very high level of change saturation, meaning that they are experiencing a lot of impacts. This picture that we are looking at here on my screen is the level of change saturation that we are witnessing across so many organizations today. There are different levels of change saturation. Some departments are experiencing higher levels of change saturation than others. Within your organization, this might be the same picture you and other members of the change management team will identify when they do a cross functional change impact assessment. Ultimately, the goal is to connect the dots between the changes themselves and the people, processes, and tools they are affecting. This way, you, as well as the change and project teams and your leadership, can plan communications, training, and resistance management strategies with clarity. So, here's a question for you. How can you conduct this change impact assessment effectively and also save about 10 hours doing so? Watch the next video for the step-by-step guide on how to conduct the best change impact assessments and save 10 plus hours in the process. See you there.